Hi, welcome to LBR Time, LiquidSwan Solo Edition. Lady Rox is under the weather, also known as Justin, so we'll be doing solos when this happens, because every once in a while somebody gets sick and they can't do an episode. Myself included, as in last week when I was high. So the three topics today are going to be the Clive and Bundy, a little bit of prohibition, and maybe we will get to analingus, but we might not be able to get there in time. We'll see. So I'd like to start out and say that I don't think Bundy is a racist, and I think that the media has been spinning his what he said in a negative way. There's been evidence that they've cut and clipped his speech in half, basically, which he kind of started with saying how he doesn't want to go back into the day when black people were fighting for civil rights and there were race riots and stuff like that. He says that's a bad thing for everybody. He later goes on to say some other things when he uses some archaic language that maybe my grandfather would use or your grandfather would use or someone's grandfather would use. But it's not necessarily bad. That's the way he talks. That's his language. That's the language he learned growing up. And although you might be able to criticize him on that point, he's not overtly racist any more than someone pointing out the difference between my color of skin and someone else's color of skin, simply to describe them as a human being. So shut up, LeVar. This is to LeVar on left versus right in any sense. Basically, I think it's a conservative liberal freak out over absolutely freaking nothing. They're trying to discredit him for being a rebel, you know. And if the same thing was done on the other side of the fence, the liberals would be all wondering why we're not arresting this person or whatever. My point is, I'm not liberal or conservative. I'm an anarchist, and I kind of think it's bullshit from both sides that they both play the exact same game. And I'm kind of sick of it, and I used to be sort of a liberal, but no, I'm totally not a liberal because I find they're just exactly the same. Anyways, well, what we can get to is what legitimizes the state's claim to ownership. The state is in the federal government claiming ownership of land in Nevada, and I can't really come to any conclusion that meets my standards. For instance, there were Indians and natives who lived there before the government took over, and really the ranchers were brought there lured there by the government of Nevada, saying that you can have free ranch land, and now they want to charge them fees, which I think is kind of bullshit. What is a state, for example? It's the legal use of force, and I say legal in quotations. Legal force is still force, regardless. If you can punch someone in the face, that's not necessarily a good thing, but if you punch them in the face because it's legal, is that any better? That depends how you define legal. In my view, any sort of violence is a bad thing. That's kind of a normal anarchist view, though. Sure, this Clive and Bundy is a statist, and sure, he is a shill to the system of the conservative liberal antics, but he, at least, he's a state limitist, and I can give him that. We had a lot of discussions on left versus right this week about Clive and Bundy, and a lot of people were spinning rhetoric. They were calling me a conservative. LeVar was calling me a racist, but I'm not a racist. I just think he's freaking out over something that doesn't really matter. Maybe he should calm down and think about it a little more, maybe read the entire article. Same goes for you, Justin Com. I was listening to you, and I didn't like it, so I thought it was bullshit. Anyways, I'll move on to, we're going to move quickly here, so we're on to prohibition. I don't think it works. It didn't work in the past with alcohol. When it's in place, it simply squeezes the supply, which raises prices, as a demand remains high relative to supply. It's sort of like squeezing a pipe and letting only a little water flow through the pipe. People are still just as thirsty, so the few drops that make it through are much, much more valuable. They're so valuable, in fact, in terms of cocaine, that cartels run one-way submarines full of drugs from the south to the north, and they make so much money that they can just throw away the submarine at the end, which I think is like absolutely insane. Uh, a lot of people are for legalization of marijuana. I'm not necessarily for that. I'm more for decriminalization. Uh, I don't see a reason why the government has to get involved regulating it. It regulates itself pretty damn good. I was at 420 Vancouver just last week, and there was 30,000 people at this 420 rally. And if you weren't selling organic marijuana, no one was buying it. People only wanted pesticide-free organic marijuana. You simply couldn't sell anything else. That's because that's what the people demanded, and that's what people want. Regulation isn't going to make anything better. It's already as good as it's going to be. The prices are low, but they will be lower when there's no more police raiding places and trying to squeeze supply and squeeze mobility of the supply, which is what creates the price demand for them. Anyways, I want to keep it short. So we don't have enough time for the analingus segment, but I don't know, I've heard it tastes like a penny. I don't know, but yeah, okay, cheers, bye.